Let's talk some high school football. I'm Fox 23 Sports Director Nathan Thompson, along with the Tulsa World Sports Editor Barry Lewis. And Barry, last week of the regular season, a lot is on the line. So let's get to your top 5 games column in the Tuesday edition of the Tulsa World. You can also get it on okprepsextra.com. No-brainer for number 1 here. Although there were some stiff competition, some really good games this week to wrap up the regular season, but it's got to be Bixby at Jenks in this rematch of that huge game in last year's regular season where the Trojans upset the Spartans.
Yes, that was a stunner last year, and Jenks is hoping to do it again this year. If they do it, they'll win a district title. So there's a lot on the line for this game. Bixby has routed everybody over the last couple of years that they played, except Jenks. The last 4 games, or last 4 meetings with Jenks over the last 3 years, have all been incredibly competitive. 3 of them have been one-score games. Bixby did avenge that loss, that Week 10 loss to Jenks last year in the playoffs, in the semifinals. But again, that was a really close game. So Jenks just really potentially matches up very well against Bixby. And I think this will be a good game that Bixby needs going into the playoffs because they haven't really been tested all year. This may be its first real test of the season as far as like having to play a game where the fourth quarter means something.
And game number 2, this could easily in most weeks be would easily be a number 1 game in most weeks, but not this week. But Muskogee at Stillwater, both these teams undefeated in district play. Winner of this one wins a district title.
Yes, it's just like last year all over again, except the roles were sort of flipped. That it was Stillwater was ranked number 1 and Muskogee number 2. Both teams were undefeated last year going into this game. Stillwater wound up winning it in that sparked them on to winning the state championship. So, you know, Muskogee will remember that game, and they feel that this is their year. But Stillwater wants to make it 2 state championships in a row, and definitely the winner of this game will be in the driver's seat to win the gold ball. So going to be a huge game in Stillwater on Friday night, right before the huge game the next afternoon in Stillwater. What a weekend of football in Stillwater.
That's right. Tough to get a hotel room to watch both of those, I'm sure, though, in Stillwater this weekend. All right, game number 3. Let's keep these blockbusters coming because, again, this one is another big-time blockbuster, this time in Class 2A, District 7, Kiefer at Victory Christian. Both teams undefeated in district play. And, again, the winner is the district champion.
Yes, just like last year, same time next year again, where Victory wound up winning at Kiefer on the last night of the regular season to win the district title. Kiefer wants to turn the tables this time as they go to Victory for the finale. Kiefer's a better team than it was last year. Victory's a better team than it was last year. So it just makes for a dynamite matchup. It's only a few miles away from Jenks' Allen Trimble Stadium, so there's going to be a lot of good football played in that area. And maybe if you're an adventurous fan, maybe you go catch a little bit of the action of both games as the Kiefer Victory game starts at 7 and Jenks Bixby starts at 7:35.
Well, that sounds like a fun night right there. Game number 4, this one is not a battle of teams undefeated in district play, but still big district title, not title implications, but big district implications as Collinsville takes on Claremore. Each one of these only have 1 district loss, so the winner of this one's going to be in second place.
Yes, both teams 8-1 overall in the season. And the winner will get to host a first-round playoff game. They'll get to host Sapulpa, while the loser will go on the road to Coweta. So it's very clear-cut what's going to happen as far as the playoff scenarios. Collinsville won a very entertaining game last year against Claremore, 28-21. And if you look at their series history throughout the years, this is sort of like what the type of score is every year in this game. Although Collinsville's got quite a winning streak in the series now, there's been a lot of these 28-21 type of games. So it should make for a very interesting night of football at Claremore.
And rounding out the top 5, Owasso on the road at Norman. The Rams coming off that crazy win over Edmond Santa Fe last week. And the Rams, if they win this one, they will for sure finish second place in the district standings, and that would be a big deal.
Would be a big deal because second place gets you a first-round bye, and more importantly, probably guarantees you a home quarterfinal game. Norman is a deceptively tough team. You look at its 4-5 record and think, oh, Owasso should handle this one really easily. Well, not so fast. Norman is a lot better team than it was the first part of the season when they started 0-3. And they can put a lot of points on the board. Owasso's been giving up a lot of points, sort of the same sort of scenario I described last week going into the Santa Fe game. So Wausau better bring its A game to Norman on Friday night.
All right, lots of excitement going on Friday night, lots of great games. So make sure you pick up, first of all, the Tuesday edition of the Tulsa World to get Barry's column on the top 5 games. You can also get it on okprepsextra.com. Just do that all week long, especially Friday for all the preview of the action, and then Saturday we'll have all the game coverage and the scores and the great pictures from the photography staff of the Tulsa World. Here at Fox 23, Bixby Jenks, that's our game of the week too, of course. Spencer will be live from Jenks Friday night to preview that action. Either depends on what's going on with the World Series. If the Rangers have wrapped it up and we don't have a World Series Game 6, then we'll be on at the normal time. Otherwise, he'll be live out there at 5:50 previewing the action, and then his highlights will be on after the World Series ends. And of course, we'll have all kinds of coverage of a lot of these great games that we talked about. So make sure you watch Fox 23 that night, or if you don't, you can get all of our coverage on the fox23.com sports page. So hope you have a great week.